Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today on intuition and spirit guides. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be great. And we're going to begin with our beautiful speaker, Meredith, on intuition. So Meredith, take it away.
Hey, okay, so I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. Hello, everybody. Let me share, make sure I've got this right. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, I can see it. You just
okay, good.
Just go full screen and turn your video on.
Okay, so I can't see you, so I'm just going to pretend like I can. Thank you so much, Anastasia, for allowing me to come and talk to you about intuition today. And I'm really excited to hear about spirit guides, and I don't know of anybody better to discuss spirit guides than Anastasia. So I'm so excited for everything we're going to learn today. Hello and welcome. I'm Meredith Richards. I am a psychic medium. My background is in political science, and I spent a lot of time in academia and decided that I just really preferred helping people rather than teach in an academic setting. And I started honing my gifts. And I like to help people learn how to heal and prosper through using my intuition and helping them learn how to use their intuition as well. So, okay, my favorite color, purple's up here. All right. So, I like to remind myself that intuition is not some hoo-hoo thing. It's something that's very real. It's something that Einstein relied upon, one of the leading, if not the most leading scientists of our times, leaned on his intuition for his discoveries and his theories. And I love this quote. He said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift." So for him, using his intuition was the way that he navigated the world. It came up with ideas. And then he used his rational mind in order to make things real. So our rational mind is that thing that helps us drive, helps us write, helps us do the mechanical things, but our intuition is where the real genius comes from. And Einstein spoke about this pretty often. Intuition is a tricky thing. If you don't know what it feels like, sometimes we get anxious and we think, oh, and we have this thought. And it feels bad, and it feels bad in our body, and we feel anxious, and we think, oh, this terrible thing's going to happen. I'm so scared. If you are on that track, that is not your intuition. That is just anxiety. And so it's always good to stop and check in with yourself and see what's actually going on. So the physical sensations of intuition is that you always feel peaceful in your body and in your psyche. It feels, even if it's not great news, if it's like, it was so, like, I don't know, my goldfish is going to die, or something like that, it's received in a very peaceful way. You don't feel agitated or scared. It feels like something you can handle. It's also, there's like a tingling in your body sometimes. Sometimes I feel it right up here at the crown, on my crown chakra, or in my chest or my abdomen. And that's telling me to pay attention to my intuition. And it's never an unpleasant feeling. It's always great. It's also a loud and clear inner voice. As an example of this, I remember I grew up in Tampa, and I'm driving down Bayshore Boulevard, and something in my head said, slow down and back way off. And it was just so loud in my head. So I did. I slowed down and I backed way off, and cars went past me. And I get down the street and I noticed that this truck had crashed into a small car, maybe some kind of improper lane change, and their car was destroyed. And, even the emergency vehicles hadn't gotten there yet. But I believe, that was my intuition telling me to back off so I didn't get in the same situation. And I'll never forget that. It felt peaceful. It's just like back off. And I did it. Intuition also comes in the form of vivid dreams, where you wake up, what happened in the dream. And again, the feeling is good, even if it's not the best news. A vivid fantasy. This is another one. It feels like a fantasy, but it's not. So when your mind wanders and you think, well, this is just a fantasy that I have, and later on you find out, no, this was not a fantasy. My intuition was trying to speak through my mind to me in this way. And sometimes it takes a little bit of playing with to really read that well. And sometimes it's just this quiet nudge to do something differently. Like, I usually walk this way. I think I'll walk that way. I'll go down this street, or I'll drive down this street. Or I need to call this friend. And the next thing you know, all these wonderful things come to pass. And that's that little intuitive nudge. Another thing that I love is signs from nature. Birds in particular for me, taking a walk in nature, what plants are around me, they all have their very special meanings. What's going on with the sky, what's going on with the weather, kind of gives me an indication of what's happening. You can always find clues, and it's always clear and direct. It's not something that you have to sit around and think about. Like, a bird landed on my windowsill. That's a good thing. That means something good's coming my way. You'll know what the meaning of it is. You're not going to have to sit and wonder. It's just going to be very clear to you. Of course, we overthink, but it's always the most simple thing, and it's easy. And also, Anastasia will get into this too, I'm sure. Your spirit guides also help make these nudges happen. It's beautiful. It's all there to help you. And, when we pray to God or to, whatever force we call that, when we go into meditation and when we receive these nudges and these intuitive snippets, this is like God talking back to us. And it's always great. And it's there to help us. It's there to help us and protect us and move us to the things that we want to do and bring us joy. I absolutely love dreams. I taught a course on dreams in Tampa, and there's a book by Fred Allen Wolf that helps you understand dreams. They're extremely powerful. And one of the things I do with my clients is we look at their dreams and see what messages are coming about in their dreams, or I'll get dreams about them. And it's always amazing to really look at things. Fred Allen Wolf studied the Aboriginal culture in Australia, and their dream time, they know, is even more real than their awake time. And The Dreaming Universe is a book that he wrote that explains all of it. So, and I have that at the end of on the last slide. So what I do when I have a dream is I ask myself, is this psychological or is this psychic? And so I go from there and then try to classify. So a psychological dream is something like, oh, you have a dream that your teeth all fall out. That's not psychic. Your teeth are not going to all fall out. This is usually something having to do with your identity or not feeling valued. And a psychic dream is more esoteric. It's more symbolic. Not that psychological dreams can't be symbolic, but there's just more of that in the psychic dreams. So that's a good place to start, is asking myself whether it's psychological or whether it's psychic. And it's one of the most healing things that you can do for yourself is to look at your dreams and see what they're saying to you. Whether it's psychological or psychic, it's all very valuable. Who has intuition? You know, everybody does. Absolutely everybody does. And my clients sometimes say to me, well, I can't do what you do. My intuition's not good. I don't have that gift. And that's not true. We all have intuition. We are born with intuition naturally. And it's given to us as a gift in order to navigate the world and keep us safe. So we all have it. We can all use it. We can all strengthen it. And it takes practice and trusting yourself. Most of it is trusting yourself. I took courses in psychic development years ago, and the number one thing, it wasn't even here's how you get the information, because that's clear cut. You just trust yourself. You sit with the information, you trust what you're seeing, you trust the message, and you trust yourself to deliver it well. Okay. And then we have what is the rational mind, and it's just as valuable. It always relies on facts. The downside is it can be very anxious at times. So, you know, if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, and I have anxiety, I know I'm working out of the rational brain, not out of my psychic mind. So, it just takes some navigation to get through what am I getting? What am I feeling? Now, like what Einstein said, the gift is intuition, and the rational mind serves the intuition. So the rational mind takes the hints from your intuition and makes them work. So, for example, for Einstein, he would come up with an idea, because it always starts with an idea, an inspiration, download from the universe. And then he uses his rational mind to process it, make it accessible, put it into formulas like E equals MC square, and that kind of thing. So they work hand in hand, and you.
Meredith, your sound disappeared. Meredith?
We can say what we feel or what we're sensing, you know, because you get laughed at, right?
Uh-huh.
So.
Okay, she's back.
We're just not there.
Your sound disappeared for a second and you just reappeared. Thank you. Don't worry, keep going.
Oh,
also, if you can start your video, so we can see your face too. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry, you're right there. You're right there.
Can you see me?
No.
Oh, that's right.
You haven't started your video yet. Don't worry. Take a minute. Take a minute. Just start when you go into the sidebar. In the side.
Can you see my slideshow?
Yes, everything's good. Sometimes the sound might disappear, but it's okay. We got you back.
Yeah, where
Into more.
I just love Zoom.
It's okay. More. Start video. Okay. There you are. Hi, beautiful. Keep going. Keep going.
All right.
Just
I'm just gonna
start your. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute
Did
myself.
everybody hear about the rational mind?
Yes. We heard the first part about Albert Einstein.
This?
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Go ahead.
great. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So rely on Albert Einstein in his work. He came up with this, use your intuition, but use the rational mind as its helper. And I try to keep that in mind. And like what I was saying, I am so sorry about that. The dogs are losing their minds. But he used his boys stop. So sorry.
Start your slideshow.
So sorry about that.
Part of the whole webinar. I got one a higher pitch outside, so.
Yeah, my husband just pulled up and they're like, "Oh, Daddy." So, all right. So I'm just going to keep it on this view because I can't do both of you on video. I can't find a way to do it. So the vehicle is the vehicle with which you make your intuition real. You make your ideas go out in the world. And like I was saying, you don't see people in the business world using things like I feel or I sense, because you'll get laughed at. You won't be effective in your job. They use their rational mind to communicate. And unfortunately, right now, this is where we are in the world. It's all right. Who has a rational mind? And the answer is, technically, everyone does have a rational mind. If someone has injury to the brain, has had a stroke, depending upon where it is in the brain, they lose contact and access to that part of their brain. So they could just be running all on intuition, which sounds like fun, but from what I have read, it is not. It's hard to get things done. It's where you learn how to drive. It's how to take your ideas and put them out in the world. So yeah, we do need our rational mind. The best thing and my favorite thing about the intuitive mind is how it can support healing for us. And this is the number one way I've gotten around healing myself from trauma, from psychic things, from my physical body, everything. I rely on it to identify issues. Just an example, I've had a stomach ache for 4 days. And, I knew I got quiet. I knew it came from, I ate some popcorn and it bothered me. And I'm like, okay. And I could feel swelling, in my abdomen. I'm like, okay, this is not the right thing. And I could literally see my intestines and how irritated they were. And so I just knew to change my diet. And, I should go see the doctor soon, but it's sort of this rely on the intuition to know what's going on to make changes. It can lead you to find a practitioner or doctor to help you. And this is a great thing too, because some of us don't like going to the doctor, and we are empathetic. Most of the people on this call right now are empathetic people, and we're sensitive to the energies around us. So we have to have a doctor that really is in a good place energetically. So, relying on our intuition to ask them the questions, to lead us to the doctor that we need, lead us to the Reiki practitioner, to the psychic, to help us get through whatever we're going through. It can bring you resources such as books and lectures. It's amazing. And then you use your rational mind to take in the information and put it to work. So it's the primary way to find healing. At least for me. Now, I also I have this slide of resources for honing your intuition. The first one is a book that I love. I mentioned it's The Dreaming Universe by Fred Alan Wolfe. And it's basically my Bible for going through dreams. He is a renowned scientist who also relies on the intuitive mind, and I love it. Autobiography of a Yogi. It's absolutely brilliant. There is the ESP trainer I have listed is something that's an app on my phone, and it helps me to play games with my intuition, to trust my inner mind, and develop that. So I'll do some rounds of that. And there's also the Intuitive Way, which is a workbook. So, all of these things can develop your intuition in order to lead you to healing. And this is physical, spiritual, and psychic. I remember one of I used to go around and say, after a really bad spiritual experience I had years ago, that had a boo-boo on my soul and I was trying to heal it. And, I had to rely on my intuition because no one really had any answers for me. No one could say, listen, this shouldn't have happened. Here's what it did to you, because it's not something, your intuition is not something that's measurable. And the damage that's done psychically or emotionally is not measurable the way we think of things. And so using resources, leaning on my intuition has helped me a whole lot. And it helps me, interact with my clients and people I encounter to help them also come to healing. And it takes practice, but it's worth it. Now I'm trying to see everybody. Where are we?
If you'd like to see everyone, you can just stop sharing if you're done with your slide.
Right, I'm done with that. Yeah.
There you go.
Stop sharing. Stop sharing.
So now,
All right.
technically, you should be able to see everyone. Okay.
Hi. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions?
If anybody has a question, you can unmute yourself and ask that way right now. You have a chance to ask any questions on intuition, on maybe how to trust your intuition, how to build that trust. What can I do to actually, let's talk about, Meredith, let's talk about how can people train themselves to trust their intuition? Because we talk about trust your gut, right? When we feel
Right.
that gut feeling, but how can I trust it? Because in our day and age, it's so often people go into their minds, but no, and push it away, right? How can you learn to trust that gut consistently?
That's hard, isn't it? And I think the main reason it's hard is because we're not taught. This is not the language of our society. And that inner voice is what's always going to push you forward. The hardest thing is when you have something in your intuition telling you one thing, and you have other people telling you things, and you've got this feeling in your gut. I love that, where it's like, oh, what they're telling you isn't right, or what they're saying this in order to serve something that's not good for me. And you get this like a little bit like this feeling in your gut, like, oh, trust that. We're also not taught to trust ourselves, right? we're taught to obey our parents, to obey the powers that be around us. And so it's also, you got to give yourself permission and authorization to say, I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
And yeah, and the more you allow yourself to do that and give yourself that practice, the easier it's going to get for you. And I do goofy little games. So when I was doing my my psychic development training, I had a friend who was also taking it. She'd call me and say, I just got my nails done. What color are they? And I'd be like, they're purple, but they're deep purple. She's like, yeah, that's it. So even playing these silly games
Yes.
or using these apps, it's just a fun way to develop your intuition. And I even if you go on TikTok, they'll have like, you know what I'm talking about, right, Anastasia?
All the time.
Like, which stone am I going to pick? And it's like the middle one. I love doing those little games. It's just fun. It's relaxing. And it just helps you trust yourself. And just to give yourself the license to say, my feelings matter. And I'm going to at least give my feelings equal weight to what I'm hearing around me. That's all you need to do. You have this incredible vehicle that the universe has given you to protect you and prosper you and heal you. And it's underused. We've got to use it.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You nailed it exactly. But yeah, absolutely. Like different things, like silly little things might look silly, but they're not, because the consistency of playing the game, that's what builds the confidence, right? That's what
Yes, absolutely.
confidence. It's not the end result. You don't always have to be right, but the more you play, the more correct answers you're gonna get, right? Even in those silly things, or like the way I like to play with my students is turn cards upside down and say, where is such and such located? And the key is, I find, just like you said, it's the confidence will come in experience, right? And
Yeah, and be okay with being not 100% correct,
yes,
because it's like building a muscle.
yes, it's not about being right when you play it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about tapping into that feeling. Where did my answer come from? Right? Did it
What
come
did it feel like?
right? Did it come from here, or did it come from my gut? Because I think everybody can relate to this when I say every time we do not listen to our gut, it kicks us in the behind.
Every single time. There was, I remember when I was a kid, I went to my friend's house and we were going to go to the neighbors to swim. And I did not want to go. I had like the worst feeling, like I couldn't. She's like, no, let's go. Well, we didn't. We left.
Yeah.
This man was arrested for abusing children. It was all over the news. And I thank God all the time that I listened to this, my intuition, and did not go into that enclosure that day. And also, Anastasia is going to talk about this too. Your spirit guides will also be your teachers. So like with my abdomen, I had this stomach ache and I was like, okay, I know what it's about. It feels a little bit like diverticulitis maybe. And I had a dream, and literally my spirit guide showed me, like opened it up and showed me, look, it's inflamed right there. And so it's like, oh, I was right. So, and that goes back in the dreams and spirit guides. And you can't have one without the other. What do you think, Anastasia?
You can't. Intuition is the root of everything. And everything is the root of intuition. Everything in our lives, our entire life, especially as women, is driven by intuition. It's a matter of learning to recognize your channels through which you can recognize what you're listening to. Intuition, right? guides everything. It's all a matter of recognizing when it's speaking to you and trusting it through experience. Because the more you listen, it's never going to steer you wrong, ever.
Right. Ever.
You guided by the divine source. It's like saying God is going to injure me in some way, or my own breath is going to injure me in some way. No, it's
Thank you. Oh, I love that.
right.
I love
But
that.
what can injure ourselves is our own mind getting wrapped up in our thoughts instead of allowing yourself to listen to the feeling you're getting. One of my favorite ways of trusting my intuition is not just the gut feeling in the gut, but also the goosebumps that I get.
Wow.
And the stronger they are, the more reassurance there is. When I'm speaking about something, I'll get goosebumps. I'm like, oh, and sometimes they're so strong, the whole body hurts. It's like,
Yeah. And when I feel like there is a spirit around me that isn't quite fabulous, I'll get this tingling right up here in my crown chakra, like, oh, ooh, something's not right here. Better do something. But it's never scary, right? It's never scary per se. It's just, okay, deal with it.
yeah. The thing is, and I'll talk about it, is the media, Hollywood, scary, whatever stories that we grew up with listening to kind of jaded our perspective on spirits, on intuition, on things. Religion definitely put different spin on things. So we didn't even realize that we could trust that there's divinity inside of us and we can trust it. And some of us actually grew up thinking that, or learned that it's outside of us, that there's an answer outside of us. But the answer is inside, in your own soul, in your own body. So it's a matter of trusting it and listening to it. And the more you listen to it, the louder it will speak.
And you hit on, I love what you said about, as women, the divine feminine, this wound that we all carry from generations of women using their intuition and not being honored or being targeted for it, like the witch trials. And I have ancestors that were, my cousin Elaine is here today. We share ancestors that they were tried in Salem and other places in Europe. And I know I carry that with me, and we all to some degree carry that. So
yes.
Wow.
Have you been to Salem? Have you felt that energy there?
I haven't been, because the idea up until now has been like, oh, do I want to feel this again? But I'm going to go. I'm going to go experience it again. Yeah.
It's powerful and it's heavy. Anybody who has a chance to go there, we went there last year, and the energy is very heavy and you can feel it everywhere. And the fact that it's constantly being replayed, what happens when energy is constantly being attended to in an incorrect way, even though it's great attraction for tourists. Oh yes, replay, the whole witch trial and the pain and everything. And I'm not saying we should forget about it. No, but when you constantly replay the same events over and over, you're feeding it energy. So the fact that they're replaying the trials, the hangings and everything keeps that collective heavy energy like under this huge heavy bubble. I mean, it's a beautiful place and it's a beautiful history. It's heavy history as well. And you feel it and you stand in it. But if you get a chance to stand in it and feel the powerful heaviness and at the same time that feminine rage, the rage and the power, it is incredible. So it's a matter of taking that as well and cultivating it into something powerful instead of, oh, poor women. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about feeling the power of that feminine rage, that divine feminine rage that was silenced for so long, and it's heavy there, and it's It's beautifully painful.
Yeah, and we're all here. We're all evidence that, the divine feminine is still at work, and our ancestors went on to procreate and create more little strange people. What people.
Strange people. Woohoo!
I'm also giving a free reading to anybody that's not had a reading with me before, and I think that Anastasia put it up in the chat.
I wrote basically, we're going to pick a lucky winner either tonight or tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed to us on social media, so you can find us either Good Juju Reiki Academy on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I will post a winner on my personal page, Anastasia Makarov, as well, and Good Juju Reiki Academy. And Meredith, you will probably, it's great if you post it as well. We will literally pick a winner a little bit later, since right now we're engaged otherwise, but we will pick a winner and we will announce. So it's best if you find Meredith Richards also on Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. It's Meredith Psychic. I need to name it something, but Psychic Medium. I'm also on TikTok as Celtic Witch or something like that. Yeah.
You got to come up with something you can remember.
Celtic Witch. I'm going to type this in.
It's like, what is my name? It's all good. But please find Meredith, befriend her, sign up to, subscribe to her page, like her page so that you can follow her. And also, aside from, if you, let's say, for any reason, do not, there you go, in the chat. If you do not win the free reading, you can always get in touch with her for reading,
And if you have a question about anything we discussed, or, you wanted to know more about intuition, I'm not going to charge you to chat with you about your intuition, or if you want more resources, just, send me a message, or, you can friend me on Facebook, like my page, my Meredith Psychic page, or I don't have anything posted on TikTok, but, I will. But just get in touch with me.
Yes. Thank you so much, Meredith. Any questions, you guys? If anybody has any questions, please unmute yourselves and ask right now. Otherwise, we will keep going. I guess, Meredith, that's it for intuition.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions? I see Elaine unmuted herself. Elaine, do you have a question?
I do. What's the best way to hone your skills if you already have a psychic medium, of course, and I have spirit coming to me at all angles.
She does. Elaine is awesome.
I don't know how to cut them off.
Oh, that's something, when I started taking my classes, you have a different issue. Elaine was actually on a TV show for an issue she had in her house. And it was exciting. And I think I'm frozen. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, but you're beautifully frozen.
There is a point at night when I was, and still sometimes I'm inundated with information. And I was told to say, to my spirit guides, okay, I'm going to rest now. I'm going to focus on this tomorrow. And start setting up the boundaries with the spirit guide, because they want to teach you. They're there to teach you. Elaine she lived in a very old house that had a lot of stuff going on, right, Elaine?
Yes, it was in a vortex.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's on the Dead Files.
The TV show.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I can post a link to her show, but Elaine is a very strong medium, and she's still, she's got this gift that she's, honing. It's setting up boundaries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can talk about that later too, between you and me. And but it's just saying, well, I'm not doing this right now, because you always have the authority and claiming your authority over it.
Yes, always. You are always in control because they
Always in
they
control.
should never go against your free will. Ever.
Thank you. You said that beautifully.
Thank you. Gabriella, do you have a question? Did we answer your question, Elaine?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking. Gabriella, I see you unmuted yourself. Do you have a question?
I'm soaking it all in.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a question?
I just wanted,
Uh-huh.
no question. I just wanted to say that I'm enjoying this. I'm soaking it all in.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
glad.
Okay. Anybody else has a question? Nobody? Okay. And if later on, let's say you have a question, if later on anybody has a question, please contact either one of us or both of us. Either way, we can answer your questions, because we'd rather have you ask us questions and guide you in some kind of direction and figure it out together than you out there going nuts and figuring it out by yourself, right? Because I think we
Yeah, no practitioner should be like, here's the information, have a nice life.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've hit that in my life, where when I started studying Reiki, my master was like that. She was just like, here's an attunement, go fly, bird. And then you're like, oh, what if I have questions? I don't care. So
Get into spirit. Okay.
you'll figure it out. You're a big girl, but yes, we will figure it out. But if there's so many easier ways to figure this out, you don't have to guess. If there's somebody who already went through something like this and has experience in it, if not yourself, but you know someone who is, we will lead, guide you in that direction. So please, if now or later you have questions, if you don't have my number, 646-226-2421. I'm open to text messages, phone calls. Absolutely, except for Saturdays. But yes. Any more questions? No, we can keep on going. Good to go? Meredith, do you have any last? No.
I'm just typing in my phone number because I didn't pop that in.
Okay.
Oh, there.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you coming on today and participating with us. Please feel free just to stay with us till the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what you
All
say.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to go right into my screen share about spirit guides, because why not? It's actually, it is perfect to continue our topic of intuition as soon as this goes away. How does it go away? Technologically challenged individual here. Thank you very much. Okay. So I guess I can double. Why doesn't it disappear? Okay. Let me see if I can hide this toolbar. That's so strange. Okay. Usually this toolbar kind of disappears on me, and I can start a, okay. Oh, here we go. It's movable. Okay. Slideshow. Here we go, guys. Sorry about that. Can everybody hear me okay? Just go, yes? Okay, excellent. So we're going to start with spirit guides. To continue this topic on intuition, it is so important to actually pay attention to that intuitive part, because when guides come in, right, when they come in and they're trying to speak to you And if you don't trust your intuition, you're not going to hear anything really. You're not going to even know what's happening. You're not going to even know that you're supposed to hear anything or listen to anything. So spirit guides, usually when we are born, we are assigned at least one major main master guide. There's just this one guy or gal. They don't truly have a gender, but you know, as humans, we assign them gender. This is a girl, this is a boy, or neutral. They could be also gender neutral. Some of them are. And one major one is assigned generally, and they go with us, they assist us from the time we're born all the way till the day we die, and they guide us through transition. In the meantime, we also have a set technically of a team, anywhere between 4 and 6. Technically, the less you have, the better, because think of it as too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. You know, there's just too much noise, too much going on. But if you do have a busy lifestyle, and if you do lead a life where you do seek a lot of spiritual assistance, there's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of guidance. It's a matter of, like Meredith said and Elaine said, right? Boundaries. Okay, you speak now, but you are always in control. And if you don't hone it in, right? If you don't kind of get a grip on all of them, or tell them like, okay, guys, chill. Okay, you're here. Wonderful. Hi, what do you want? Bye. You know, sort of, they're gonna continuously, because they want to help. That's the point, right? That we are a team. We're here to work together. They're not here to do things for you. Sometimes there's misunderstanding and saying, like, people think that they will, when they're praying to their spirit guides, my angels, my archangels, please come forward and do this for me. They think very often that they're the ones doing the work for you. Yes and no, they're not the ones who are doing something on their own. What's happening is you are the one telling them what to do. You are the one assigning them tasks. So you are responsible at all times what happens in your life and what kind of assistance you get. You are the one in control. Nothing, generally speaking, happens against our free will. If something's happening, you have allowed it to happen, either consciously or subconsciously. If bad things are happening in your life, you have to look at what are you reflecting back? What are you asking for? What energy are you upholding? Are there negative thoughts consistently in your head? Because you will attract beings of like energy. If you're vibing low, you will attract low vibing entities. But there's such a thing also as vibing high and being vibrant and still attracting entities that are less than friendly or maybe disruptive, because they want some of that light. Because just like mosquitoes, they're hungry, you know, sort of. So yes, we do have a set guide team per need, and each one comes in actually at different times in our lives, upholding certain energy, upholding sort of like this energetic program to help us, guide us through things. When we're little, we don't really, you know, have the same sense of awareness, but I do believe little kids up until about, I want to say 7, maybe 9, can clearly see everything. After that, society and mind, rational mind kicks in, and they're like, you know, like even in Disney movies, when they, like, let's say Polar Express, you know, like that bell, you know, at some point they stop hearing it. Same thing happens here. It's not that they stop hearing. So if you do not see, you feel, and they continue to feel it. But our society, and depending on what family we are brought in, we might stop paying attention, or we're told it's not important. So just like Meredith said, we are taught not to trust ourselves. Trust me, I know better. Like our parents love to say, because I said so, basically, right? So the rest of there are, 4 to 6, but there's thousands, if not millions, probably beyond our comprehension of angels and guides, whatever you wish to call them, right? The guiding your spirit, guiding your path, true divine path. There's so many, and you can invoke per need. I kid you not. Every time I look for parking, I say, my angels of parking, come forward. It's as simple as that. Speak to them as they're your friends. You don't need to say any special incantations, unless you want to. It's your process. Again, whatever resonates with you. I'm all about verbal and feeling as well, so I will speak out loud. And I'll say, angels of parking, please provide me with a great parking spot right next to my house. Never fails. Ever, ever. If I lost something and I can't find it, sometimes I'll remember Saint Anthony. Sometimes I will just say, spirits of my house, stop playing, can, help me to find what I'm looking for and let go. Sometimes it's just, I know it's here. I don't know where. I remember leaving it here, and then just poof, it disappears. It happens. So usually it's actually a sign for me to slow down. That means my energy has been all over the place. If I can't find something that's in front of my face, especially, that means just like, slow down, girl, So again, just to remind you, when you are speaking to them, and all you have to do is say things in your whatever language you use to. If you're multilingual, pick a language, or really, it doesn't matter what language you speak to. You don't even have to say it out loud. You can just think it or feel it. They know, they're there. It's sort of like, imagine a guest standing by your door. It's like, come on, let me in. Let's do this already. They're ready. So what I like to say is, my spirit guides, angels, archangels, I welcome you into my life, and I give you permission to intervene as you see fit. Because they will never intervene unless you give them permission, or unless your life is in danger and it's not your time to go, right? That's the only time when they will interfere against your free will. Well, this girl is here to stay. And I know that happened to me multiple times when I should have been, but you just know when it's a divine intervention, there will be synchronicities. Synchronicities are usually things that are kind of random, but all happen so smoothly at the same time. It's sort of like this universal dance that happens, that puts circumstances, people, and events so smoothly in your life. When things go smooth, that's right. But it doesn't mean that when things go, south, that doesn't mean that it's not right either. But maybe we need to course correct somewhere. But yeah, usually it will feel, the presence of spirit guides usually is felt like something safe, warm, not necessarily warm, but comfortable, loving, like the universe is giving you this great big hug, like you're home. It will make you feel so safe when you truly know, when you all of a sudden, let's say you're doing something and all of a sudden you're feeling just this overwhelming love. That's them. It's okay if you don't. Oh, I've never felt that. That's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not there. Again, they're not doing the work for you. They are assisting in your task. And just because, let's say you ask for something and nothing's happening, doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means maybe you're not in tune enough with yourself right now to pay attention. And that's okay. We'll get right into it. And no, they're not watching you do things, like, in a sense, private stuff. Yeah, no, they're not watching you doing your things. They have bigger fish to fry, right? And if you're not using them, they will go where they are needed. But as soon as you say, my spirit guides, I need you, guide me, protect me, give me strength, give me courage, whatever, right? Help me to feel better. Fill me with your love and your light, whatever your request and intention is. Here they are, immediately. But otherwise, no, they're not going to sit there, look at what this girl is doing. No, it's not how it works. They don't care. They don't have the same, it's not that they don't have the same emotional capacity. There's no need for that. It doesn't exist. There's no need for any of this reaction that we as humans have. They don't have judgment. There's no such thing. They're not judging you for the things you're doing wrong. They're not rewarding you for anything you're doing right either. They're just there to do what you tell them to do. That's it, you know, which is what makes it unconditional. There's no conditionality. If you do this, I'm going to love you. No, they love you and support you and assist you no matter what. Okay, so welcome them and give them permission. Okay, as they see fit. So the names, usually us as humans, we love labels, and it also helps us to connect to things. So we're always like, well, what is my spirit guide's name? What is my angel's name? Okay, we can find that out today if you want to. Do not get discouraged if you do not. Also, like Meredith said, I am also, just like Meredith, very big on dreaming. It is a huge, incredible, powerful resource for messages, so many messages that you might not have caught while awake. But when we're sleeping, we enter other dimensions. We go higher, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, up to whatever, you know, we're dreaming, we're traveling interdimensionally out there, astrally. We get to feel things, see things. Just because you don't see your dream or you don't remember your dream doesn't mean you have not dreamt. There's different ways, but sometimes they appear in a dream, and it's amazing if you didn't catch it while awake, you know? So I always say, pay attention to your dreams. If you want to remember your dream, you can ask your guides. You say, angels, please. Simple as that. Angels, please help me to remember my dream tonight. And keep a pad and a pen right by your bed. And slowly, if you wake up from your dream, don't jump up. Because when you jump up, you kind of stir that state in which you are. And it just goes out the window. So slowly, you just go and write down. And if you don't know what it means, you can look it up, or best yet, contact Meredith, contact me. Let's work on it, because what I love to do with dreams also is take a resource out of a dream, a power. If you need some extra help, it's just another way for guides to talk to you. Well, what did you see, and how can we use it in our daily life to make you feel stronger, make you feel more encouraged, make you feel better, whatever the intention is. So let's say you want to address or find a name of your master guide. Intended so. My main master guide, please come forward and name yourself. Don't go saying, what is my name? The reason why is because they've been here for thousands, if not more, right? Years, and just for so long that they've acquired so many names that you will get in your head if you do that. It's just going to be in, they're telling you their names, but it's going to be a million names. So what you want to say is, what should I call you? What should I call you? That's it. And a name can be as simple as Bob. I kid you not. It is your guide. And your guide will speak to you in the language you can understand. You do not have to learn their language. They speak to you in your language. All you have to do is learn to listen, right? It can't be as simple as Bob. If it's something exotic, you can even Google it if you choose to. Today, we're going to talk about a few, not standard, not basic, nobody's standard or basic, but the ones that we usually hear of, right? The most commonly heard names, right? So if any of them comes up, sure, wonderful, you'll know who you're dealing with, right? Again, if you don't utilize them, they'll go where they're needed the most. Now, the thing is also, if you have too much clutter in your head, right? Too much noise, even if they do name themselves, you might not be able to hear them, because if you have not decluttered your mind, it will be just part of the noise. So there's other ways to pay attention to who it can be, right? You might see a flash of color, so you can identify them by color. You all of a sudden might smell something like a sweet scent or smoke, something like that. Maybe in your house, you have a collection of the same type of mineral or stone. You're drawn to some kind of stone, lapis lazuli, labradorite, pink tourmaline, whatever, quartz. That's also a way of telling you that is your guide. You're drawn to the energy of your guide, because if you can't hear the name, you can figure it out, but what you're feeling, tasting, smelling, the color that comes up, the smell that comes up, the feeling. Sometimes when I get messages, they come in from the left side. If it's a guide and specific kind of message with the guide and the spirit comes forward, they come from my right side. So this is how I know usually if it's an actual spirit guide that came forward for whatever message or purpose, depending on what I'm doing. I will say, who is it? And sometimes a name will actually appear as letters in my inner screen, like Michael, cool, thanks. Or I'll hear Michael whispered in my ear, or you'll just know inwardly, like clear cognizance. Michael, okay. You don't know how you knew, but trust that. Intuition, right? So trust that. Identify either by a name or all other ways. So there is such a thing as what are kind of called negative guides. Now, they're not malevolent. They're not guides that went rogue. They're not going to be like, kind of making things difficult for you in life. Again, they don't go against your free will. What that means is at some point in your life, or maybe you were born with one, there was a guide that upheld an energy for you based on what you were going through. And now that you're through it, he kind of forgot to leave. And he's still hanging around like a guest that forgot to leave on your couch, sitting over there, And so sometimes they need to be let go consciously. I actually do what is called divine realignment, where we not only look at your divine path and whether or not you're on it. And the way you'll know is when things are just always going wrong, or you feel like you've tried everything in your life and you just don't know what else to do, how to figure out what your path is, what your calling is, what your true gifts are. And if just something's happening, you can't put your finger on it quite, but you need some clarity, sure, you can contact me. We can do a divine realignment, which will also show if you have any negative guides. And through the process of divine realignment, it's actually called soul realignment, but I cannot call it as such because that's copyright. So I call it divine realignment. So we actually let go of the negative guide that way, or you can intend it yourself as well. If there's a negative guide currently upholding any energy that is already done and over with, I let you go. Please, thank you so much. And be free, you know, that can work as well, depending on where you are in your development spiritually and how much you can trust yourself with that. If you can't, come to me, we'll do it. We'll let them go. And instead, a positive guide will come in that will uphold the energy to support your current path, sort of like renew your guide team to uphold the positive energy, the strength and the courage and your true divinity, you know. So that way we'll understand your divine guide, divine path. So angels, archangels, and spirit guides, they're not always winged creatures. First of all, they don't truly look all that pretty in reality. They actually look kind of scary, but you know, they understand that us as humans might not be able to kind of be okay with seeing the real faces, because yeah, that's something out of a horror movie, kind of. Yeah, it's okay. Even though they come with love, they might not look like it, you know. So that's why we have this perceived notion that they're these sentient beings with beautiful light around them with these wings. Yeah, sure, there's wings, but there's like maybe just a bunch of ice and wings. Yeah, they can look very unnerving. So that's why they understand this concept of us being able to digest it and relate to them. So they will appear as angelic creatures or orb of color, or just a feeling of goodness and love and all that. But yeah, but sometimes also it could be an insect or an animal. It doesn't always have to be an angel in a classic sense. So many times I've heard people, I have trouble getting in touch with my guides or relating to them or understanding them. Well, how about paying attention to what animals, birds, creatures of any kind that constantly are drawn to you, or you are drawn to? Do you have spiders showing up every time? Do you have all of a sudden, you know, dragonflies everywhere? I mean, clearly we don't have bears walking the streets, but somehow if you are drawn to that animal for whatever reason, strongly drawn, not just like, oh, cute, no, like really internally just, oh my God, I feel it, you know. And they're constantly visiting you in dreams, like you're dreaming of wolves, dreaming of dogs, dreaming of bears or crows, whatever it is. We can figure it out. I do a 9 animal totem guide reading for you as well. We can schedule that. And I can tell you who your 9 animal guides are. And again, just like any other guide, there is a specific animal for specific purpose in your life, guiding you in specific area in your life. So for me, I don't know how I can continue my life without actually seeking any guidance. I feel like my life has become so much richer when I started asking for guidance, when I started asking for clarification, when I actually got to know my animal guides. Well, why am I drawn to this color, brown? 'Cause bear, that's why. Or, you know, I have in the back, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but yeah. Yeah, dragonfly. Yeah. And you might not like the insect itself, but something about it, once you read about it, you're like, oh, that's deep. Yeah, I can definitely. And they're not going to tell you anything out of what you already don't know. What they're telling you is specific parts of your characteristics, upholding that energy for you. So let's say you need more courage, you ask a specific guide for it, specific animal for it. You need a little more mind clearance. You need to remember your dreams, blah, blah, whatever it is. You ask a specific guide for it. My thing is also, if I can't remember everything in this world, and also I forget a lot of things. So I don't really get hung up too much on the names. So I'll say, a guide for this and this, please come forward and ask and help me with this. Simple like this. They're not going to get offended if you don't remember their name. Again, there's no emotional attachment like we have. So You can ask them to clarify messages. That's my favorite. The key here is if you have trouble just paying attention to your gut feeling, you can get extremely specific and assign them yes or no. For example, what I do is if I'm really having trouble making decision, what I do is I say, "My guides, help me with whatever my intention is." And I will say, yes, assign a picture, sound, or an actual animal, owl, as a yes. No, horse. Yes, owl, no, horse. And I kid you not, I turn on the television and what do I see? A freaking horse. That's easy. As simple as that. The answer will follow. You don't have to sit there. Is that an answer? Is that an answer? Is that an answer? Because you can drive yourself nuts with that. If you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where to look or listen to, but you will intuitively know that's my answer, whether you like it or not. Because just because you ask them and you think they're gonna tell me, no, trust the answer. Whether you like it or not, that's the answer. Also, I like to use my cards. I use Archangel Oracle cards. For those of you who are Russian speaking, there's actually a Russian speaking version of them. If you want, I can send you a link. You can text me or call me. But I love my cards, and I have so many cards. I have tarot cards. I have even astrological cards, and I do spreads all the time. That's another way to kind of get out of your head, right? To get out of your head where you can be sitting and wondering, is this the answer? Get it out on paper, so to say. Here are your cards. The cards never lie. But again, it's not your cards that are doing the work. You're the one who's basically guiding the answer. They are just the vessel, just like the guides. They're, we are vessels for energy, especially when we're doing Reiki, right? We are the vessels. We're not the ones who are doing the healing. We're just the vessels. But no matter who you use, right? Angels, archangels, spirit guides, Reiki guides, animal guides, please thank them at the end. I know they're unconditional, but I always say, please say thank you. It's just nice to be thanked because they're doing a lot of work for us. They are helping us, they're guiding us, protecting us all the time. So the least we can do is say thank you. If you can create an altar as a thank you, that's amazing, but you don't have to, but just say thank you. Thank you, my guides. At the end of the day, before I actually fall asleep, I always say thank you so much. And you don't have to say specifically to whom, they know. Just the intention of thank you, right? So yeah, basically you can ask any of them for specific purpose. Protect me, cleanse me, fill me with light and love, heal me. Depends on what it is, just like that in your own language, right? And if you want to know who your animal guides, let me know. Remember, because sometimes I will come across people who think, oh, I can't get in touch with them. I can't hear them. They're not, I'm not worthy. Yeah, you are. You are worthy and you are good enough. Because guess what? You are that sentient being in that meat suit. That is why they're there. They are guiding that same sentient being in a meat suit through this human experience because it's so difficult because, well, we decided to have it. Hey, let's like fun. Let's go to Earth and be a human and experience a bunch of nonsense. But you're not alone experiencing a bunch of nonsense and experiencing a bunch of amazing things too, right? We're all experiencing things and we are divinely guided. We are worthy and we are good enough. So, and they are always assisting even when you don't feel it, right? Even like Meredith said, right? You, like when you get diverted or there's a very slow person in front of you or you get a flat tire and you're like, Why is this happening to me? But as a matter of fact, they have protected you from engaging in a car accident that was happening a couple of blocks away. Or, you know, like you said, you didn't go to the pool party or whatever it was, right? Because there was a less than wonderful person there, right? So they will kind of divert you in a way, or in some kind of way, on some kind of path. All you have to do is listen to that nudge. Oh, step, make 2 steps. All of a sudden you're sitting there and there's a voice in your head comes on. Don't think you're nuts. You're not nuts. They're intervening, but only intervening because if it's threatening to you in some way, to your soul, to your body, to the human experience. Yes, we are going to experience, or maybe already experience, traumatic things. And that's no, it's not them causing anything. No, negative guides did not cause it. Your soul chose to experience what would it feel like to experience this trauma. So this guide came in and helped you with it because you chose to do it. So just because negative things are happening, it doesn't mean you are being punished in any way, right? There's no such thing. The universe is unconditional. It responds to what you put out. What you put out, you put in. If you keep getting bad, negative, disappointing people in your life, that means you yourself are disappointing yourself and other people in some way. So it's a reflection. Take a look at what you're reflecting back, right? So they do communicate in our language. You do not have to learn some crazy language to communicate with them. All you have to do is just speak. Intend to speak. Just open your mouth and let's go. But in order to hear them, you do kind of need to pay attention and slow down. And again, are you getting messages as claircognizance? Do you just see images? Do you see words? Do you hear them as clairaudient? Do you hear whispers in your own language, in your own voice, or not? Got to be careful with that one. Is it schizophrenia? I don't know. So just use your best judgment. I think you will know intuitively what that is. Because also there's such a thing as people not being able to distinguish between bad and good. Sometimes, well, I hear the whispers, but of course you will know if it's for good or for not good. Intuitively, something will squeeze inside. You'll be like, ooh, what's that? You know, so pay attention, but without your permission, nothing will happen. So are you hearing them? Are you smelling them? Clairolfactants. Are you tasting them, right? Are you feeling them in your body, like clairsentient? Is there somewhere in your body, like, are there goosebumps, right? Shivers, your hair standing up, or also paying attention to the temperature and pressure of the room around you. Has the air changed? Has the temperature changed? Cold, hot? Did you feel any kind of breeze, anything, movement? Do you feel touch on your skin or on your hair? Sometimes they will pull on my hair, or if it's, let's say, an animal that comes forward, they will brush against my leg. You're like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, so don't be scared. And again, if you don't want to bother with any of it, you don't have to. This is just an option for those of you who are interested in welcoming these guides and working together, because they will help you to clarify a lot of things that are difficult to understand as a human, right? So learn your channels, kind of, and learn to trust them. So do not be afraid. There is technically nobody out there trying to hurt you. They can't go against your free will. There are disruptive souls out there. There are disruptive beings, but most of the time I find that they're just lost. They're so lost. And instead of condemning them, we want to turn to the love and the light whenever a client brings in a disruptive soul, or any soul for that matter, over here, a spirit, sometimes that happens because I work out of home with people, and unconsciously, not knowingly, they bring someone with them, and all of a sudden my lights are flickering, electricity, all kinds of things are starting to happen, or I feel their presence in any way. I'm like, okay, go to the light. They love you so much. They're waiting for you. Please do not be afraid. Sometimes they don't know they're dead. Sometimes they don't know, like the souls, human souls that passed, transitioned, especially traumatically, they might not know. And they could be lost and afraid and disruptive because, well, you're in their space. Why are you in my house? Imagine I walk into your house and start moving you things. I don't think you'd like it very much. So I'm gonna do everything possible, like Beetlejuice, right? What can we do to make them leave, right? So that's the same thing, but also, I'm not saying there are not darker entities. There are. It's a matter of understanding you are more powerful than they are in so many ways. All you have to do is remember that, and that you are in control, and that you can command, but from the place of love and light. So when I encounter it, I'll say firmly, but with love, because aggression creates more aggression. Whatever you feed will increase. If you're feeding it fear and aggression, it will expand, and it will drag you down into the lower energies. So love and light, only beings of love and light are welcome here. Yeah. And don't forget to sage. Sage, right? Sage, but when you're saging, open at least a window or a door or both, so that you're not circulating them. Otherwise, you're just running in circles. So they have to have an exit, right? So open window and a door, and start at the door or a window and go all the way around your perimeter. Then just tell them, please exit. This is my domain. This is my domain. But that's disruptive spirits. In a realm of spirit guides, they're always there to help us, assist us, heal us, guide us. There is no technically war between good and evil. We all have shadow and light within ourselves. We can be as evil as can be, or we can be as compassionate as we are. PMS is proof of that. We can get really dark really fast. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Everything has a right to be. You are a powerful being, okay? And you command. You stand in your power. So just remember, whatever you're vibrating at, that's what you're going to be attracting. If you're attracting all kinds of illnesses, you're vibing pretty low, because on a soul level, higher vibration will never attract all kinds of negative things. And it's okay. We're as humans, we're meant to get sick. All things are getting at us and putting wrong things in our bodies, right, Meredith? Like you mentioned, if I eat something, I know I'm going to plummet my vibration because I ate something that didn't make me feel good. Okay, now that I know this, I'm not going to do it again. That's it. As simple as that. Don't worry about, I have to get higher. Just do what feels right, right? What feels right. Instead of going into like toxic positivity, I always have to be positive. No, you don't. You do not. That's not what raises your vibration. Your action raises your vibration, right? I mean, positive outlook doesn't hurt. But yeah, fear, anger, things like that plummets it. And our guides can help us to uphold a little bit of a higher vibration. And you can just ask them, please help me to feel better, to climb out of this. Guide me. What can I do? Guide me. And it'll guide you. Just like you said, in intuition, right? Synchronicity. A book will pop up. A person will show up. You'll hear a message through a person. All of a sudden, that stranger comes up to you and they're saying these things. You're like, you don't even know me. How did you know? Yeah. Who do you think is working through that? It's amazing how it works when you start to pay attention. So just remember, you are so much more powerful and bigger than you think. And also, you are not your thoughts. Stop believing every thought you have. It's the worst thing you can do. When you pay attention to your every thought and you believe it, that's it. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not vibing high. You're not paying attention to your guides. And it's okay if you have one of those days where you just, I don't want to bother with any of it. Okay. Okay. But yeah, if you get too wrapped up in your thoughts, that's when anxiety kicks in. That's when all the mess kicks in. So the best way to get out of it is go back into your body. Simple breathing. Because when you breathe in deep, consciously in your body, you are not thinking. It's impossible to pay attention to your breath and think at the same time. Well, you probably are thinking, but you're not paying attention. So if you want a little break out of that clutter in your head, just go and if you try it right now with me together. Guess what? You weren't thinking. So you just caught a break for a second, right? So let's get to it. Here are our beautiful angels, right? So you don't have to remember what they look like or anything, but there's so many of them. But the guys that we usually hear of are the main guy, Michael, right? Archangel Michael. And archangels are believed to have been once humans. That's why they understand our experience so much, because they were human. They understand. So they know exactly what we're going through and what that feels like. So that's especially amazing. That's why I especially love to talk to archangels specifically. So Archangel Michael, if you, let's say, don't get Michael, for example, when you are asking for the name to come forward, you can see a color royal purple or royal blue. Or maybe you're drawn to a stone and you didn't know what that was, and then you did your research and it turns out to be sugilite or sugilite, depends on how you like to pronounce it, right? Specific color. So this archangel is actually the one that helps you with courage, strength, protection, cleansing, and guidance. So if you want more protection and strength, Archangel Michael, please come forward and help me, guide me, give me courage. Simple, right? All you have to do is just know. And if you forget which archangel, you can just say, Archangel, who is responsible for courage, please come forward and help me. Don't worry about it. He's not going to get offended. Next, we have Archangel Raphael, and Raphael is usually green, emerald green, like this bright, beautiful green, right? And he is all kinds of healing. So if you're hurting physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you could say, Archangel Raphael, please come forward and help me heal, surround me or fill me with your beautiful green energy, healing energy. I like to envision him as coming forward. Like Archangel Michael, I like to envision him like, here I am, protector, right? Like the shields, right? Whereas Archangel Raphael will be like with the scepter. Here you go, touch you like with a magic wand. Here you go, I take your aches and pains away. And he takes them all away and he fills you with this beautiful green energy instead, right? And clearly the stone would be emerald or malachite for it. Those are the colors. So if you're drawn to emerald or malachite, you're drawn to Archangel Raphael. So the next is Archangel Uriel, right? And that's an angel of transmutation, illumination, enlightenment, achieving your higher purpose, your higher calling. So if you want to connect stronger to your higher self, you can ask Archangel Uriel, please come forward and help me with this. And the color associated with this archangel is yellow, sometimes red. So amber, that deep, beautiful yellow of amber, like honey. Yes. So another archangel would be Zadkiel, right? And he's all about compassion, and we need a lot of it right now. Compassion towards ourselves and each other, especially with what's happening right now in the world. There's not much love and compassion happening. So instead of fearing and being angry and afraid of what's happening, what we can do is ask Archangel Zadkiel to come forward with this beautiful blue-purple energy and surround us all in compassion and love, right? Because you don't fight a fight. You go the opposite. You go into the peace. You want more peace, you pray for peace. You don't pray for the war to end. You pray for peace. You pray for compassion and love. So compassion, forgiveness, mercy, benevolence, joy, acceptance, or, you know, if you need a little better memory, you can do that too. Yeah. So dark indigo, blue purple, lapis lazuli, very powerful stone. Next we have Gabrielle, beautiful Gabrielle, right? Archangel Gabrielle. She is a messenger of children, creativity, good news, communication between ourselves and the departed, right? Not just between ourselves. So if you're having trouble speaking or expressing yourself, you can ask Gabrielle to help you with that. Or if you want to establish a clearer connection with a departed loved one, Gabrielle is one of the archangels that can help with that, right? Expression, self-expression. And the colors are white, gold, copper. Citrine is the stone. Citrine is a lighter yellow, whitish, kind of transparent. Next we have Jophiel, and she's also an archangel of patience, wisdom, illumination as well, art and beauty, self-esteem. So many of us are lacking in that, like big time. So we can ask for a little bit upkick in the self-esteem, right? So Archangel Jophiel, can you please help me, you know, assist me in that, guide me to what can help me with my self-esteem, right? In the actions, what would be the best way, right? But you're the one who's going to be doing it. It's not like she's going to go, here you go. She'll guide you where you can find the resource for that. So illumination, and the colors here are dark pink, darker pink, white, yellow, pink tourmaline. Very, very nice. Very nice color, stone. And so the next one is Chamel, Archangel Chamel, and he's in charge of peace again, right? We can ask him as well to send us some peace, love, and comfort. Unconditional love, big time, because our love is so conditional on earth. If you do this, I love you. If you don't, I don't love you, you know. So unconditional love, adoration, gratitude. And he is pale green, pink, green fluorite is the stone. Notice that some of these also, you know, they correspond to the chakra colors too. Heart chakra is green and pink. So unconditional love and compassion. And it's not just towards others, it's towards yourself, most importantly. Right? The next guides are not the classical ones, but we all heard of them, and we are utilizing them on a daily basis without even knowing it as well. So the next one is Metatron. This is actually his age right now, Metatron. It's the age of new development, changing into new society. Oh, it's amazing. So he's actually one of the twins. His twin is Sandalphon. They're two twins. They were two twins. And Metatron is actually in charge of balancing the feminine and the masculine. You need help with that? Metatron is your guide, right? He's also helps with children, messengers, discipline. If you need a little bit of discipline, right? Goals, to set my goals. Metatron helped me with some of that clarity. Organization. And he would be a violet color, like nice violet color or seafoam green mixed in there. So watermelon tourmaline, that is also a very powerful stone for actually dealing with childhood traumas. Big one, supports you because she children, the messengers. So, and his twin sandalphon is in charge of truth, power, and delivers prayers, right? So Metatron sends out, sandalphon brings back, right? So he brings back the information, delivers prayer. Well, they actually work together. One sends, the other one they all help. So the color would be turquoise color and the stone. So if you're drawn to that, you just love turquoise, guess what? That's your guy, sandalphon, right? Raziel is in charge of harmony, relationships, justice, and redemption, right? And he is a color light blue. So he's more like an aquamarine, a lighter, more transparent color, you know, relationships. And next we have Raziel, and that is an archangel of spiritual insight, and he helps to restore faith in the universe and self. If you're having difficulty connecting with your higher power or staying connected, you're just having a faith crisis, he can help. Raziel, okay? And he is all colors of the rainbow. So pick a color or just a rainbow. You know, when we see a rainbow, we feel so kind of like childish and joyful. Well, here you go. It makes you feel good. Like, oh, look, a rainbow. Oh my God, double rainbow. There you go. Because it restores faith in the universe and yourself. You feel special. You feel connected. You feel that joy all of a sudden when you see a rainbow, right? And believe it or not, clear quartz helps to amplify that most of all. Clear quartz helps to amplify anything, really. It's a powerful stone. Next, we have Uriel, and she helps to communicate with animals. And confidence as well, animals and confidence, right? And pale pink, and so rose quartz would be the best for that. And last but not least, we have our guides that are Azrael, and Azrael helps us with comfort, grief, things like that, which are right now so important because there's people that are being unfortunately killed and just all kinds of nonsense is happening. And so we all need comfort and grief also from COVID. It's a tricky one because so many of us have lost someone in this time. And also we don't realize that grief is not always about losing a person. We've lost jobs, we've lost the same social structure, we've lost same habitual actions that we did. You know, some of us are creatures of habit, and we got used to doing things a certain way, and now all of a sudden, boom, you don't have that anymore. So there's grief involved in that. You lost a simple, you know, for a while there, a simple way of going grocery shopping. People got angry. What do you think anger is? That's grief. Grief. And a lot of us are feeling it on a collective level. So this color is vanilla cream, and it's yellow calcite. Right? So if you're having some issues of letting go of a departed loved one, grief, and you need a little more comfort, you can ask Archangel Azrael to help you with that. So next one is Haniel, and she is in charge of passion, grace, and beauty and harmony, psychic abilities. Okay, and she is bluish white and rainbow as well, because, you know, joy. And the stones would be moonstone or rainbow moonstone. Moonstone is actually a pretty feminine stone, feminine stone. So no wonder, you know, beauty, grace, harmony, psychic abilities, intuition is higher a lot of times in women. And last but not least, we have Archangel Jeremiah, and he's in charge of prophetic visions, positive changes. He's eggplant purple. So if you're drawn to amethyst, you are drawn to Jeremiah. Okay. So I think that is the last of it. Yes. Here we go. Now I can see everyone. So yeah, you again, it's okay if you don't remember all the names. Right now, we're going to do a meditation to see if let's just focus on the main guide, right? Because to call forward all the 4 to 6 people or more is busy. So let's see if your main guide comes forward. And in order to do that, I will ask you to please sit upright if you're laying down, because we need our spine straight. That is our channel. Okay. Besides, a lot of us, when we lay down, what do? We pass out. And we need to pay attention. I'm going to turn on the music. You hear? You can hear it? Awesome. Thank you. So I want you to find a comfortable position right now. Gently close your eyes. Your back needs to be supported. If you can't just sit upright by yourself, find a support against a wall or on a couch or on the bed, so you don't have to strain yourself, because you want to be comfortable. You want your body to be able to relax. And so sit upright. It doesn't matter where your legs are or your arms and hands are, as long as you are sitting upright and you're comfortable. And I want you to slightly visualize that there is a little string attached to your head, and it pulls you up so that you remain upright, so your head is not bobbing all over the place, right? So that string is pulling you up, and it's keeping your spine straight and your head upright. And we'll begin with a couple of deep breaths, just nice and easy, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nice and easy, just to situate where you're sitting, just to find yourself in that spot, in the place, feeling your butt, feeling your legs, sitting there comfortably. And now you can breathe easily, normally, and bring your attention to the top of your head. And keep breathing and relax the muscles at the top of your head, letting them go little by little. Relaxing your forehead, relaxing your eyes, relaxing your cheeks. Keep breathing, nice and easy. And with every breath you take, you allow yourself to let go a little bit more, settling into a comfortable relaxation. Drop the tongue from the roof of your mouth to the bottom and relax your mouth. Let go of the tension in your jaw. Keep breathing, nice and easy. Letting go, allowing yourself to let go of the tension. Relaxing your throat and your neck and the back of your head and the back of your neck. Nice and easy. Sending a warm wave of relaxation down into your shoulders. Letting go of the tension in your shoulders. Allow them to get heavier. Drop them, letting go little by little. You really do not need to be stressed anymore. Relax your shoulders. Send the warm wave of relaxation down your arm, relaxing your arms and your elbows and your forearms and your wrists and your fingers. Letting go little by little with every breath you take. Keep breathing in and out. And it feels so good to let go right here, right now. Relax your chest. Let the muscles in your stomach go and relax. Let them go. Relax your upper back and your middle back and your lower back. Unclench that area you're sitting on. Open it up. Breathe into it. Let your yoni relax. Drop the tongue from the roof of your mouth and breathe. Letting go with every breath you take. Little by little. Unclench. Let it go. Relax your hips. Sink a little bit deeper into the warm relaxation. Notice how good it feels to let go right here, right now. You are safe. You are loved. You are protected. Relax your thighs and your knees. Relax your calves and your ankles and your feet and your toes are all completely relaxed. Send the warm wave of relaxation from the top of your head down your face, letting go, sinking deeper and deeper still, allowing yourself to let go. And it feels so good to let go. You really don't need to be stressed anymore. Let it go. Allow yourself. Send the warm wave of relaxation down your body, relaxing your arms and sinking even deeper now. It's so comfortable. Relaxing your chest and your stomach, unclenching, breathing, settling in. And I want you now to invite a divine white golden light from the top of your head into your crown. From up there, the universe, God, the source, beaming down this golden, beautiful, white, and maybe there's other colors, light, beaming down on you through your crown, into your crown, surrounding you. Every cell of your body, inside and outside, enveloping every single cell of your body with this beautiful, healing, divine, white, golden light. And the deeper you breathe, the brighter the light gets, the wider it gets. Allow it to envelop every single cell of your body. And if you were to look at your body, With your inner eye, you could see it shimmering. Your arms and your hands and your fingers and your chest and your face and your hair and your back, all shimmering, shining. Your stomach, your legs, your feet, everything is enveloped in this beautiful, healing, divine, white, golden light, healing you, cleansing you, loving you unconditionally, truly. Unclench. Drop the tongue. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And I want you to bring attention to your heart and envision there a brighter light, like the sun, so bright, expanding, expanding, and expanding some more, shining from inside of you, merging with this beautiful white golden light, because it is the same. It comes from the same source. Keep breathing. Expand. And I want you now to say, my master guide, I welcome you into my life. And I ask you to come forward. And what shall I name you? What shall I call you? Breathe. Notice how you feel. That first name that popped up is the right one. Trust it. That color that appeared. Is there a change in the temperature around you? How does your body feel? Is there a taste? Is there a smell? Is there a feeling? Is there a memory that comes up? My master guide, come forward, present yourself. I am ready. And I give you permission to intervene as you see fit. And breathe. What are you feeling? If you want to cry, cry. If you want to laugh, laugh. For they are here. They are here. Thank you for guiding me all my life. Thank you for protecting me all my life. Thank you so much. Please continue to guide me, protect me, and love me, and direct me. Work with me. And help me to stay more conscious of our contact. Please. Thank you so much. Keep breathing. Thank you so much. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for sending all these people into my life, for guiding me in their direction and them in mine, for all the knowledge that I have, for my divine gifts. Thank you. How do you feel? Take a couple of deep breaths. Bring your awareness back into your heart, into your body, sitting where you're sitting. Bring awareness to your fingers and your toes. The light is still shining within and outside of you. Take it with you and carry it with you always, and know that you are connected at all times. Trust it, believe in it. You deserve it. You are so, so beautiful, and you are loved. You are safe, and you are protected. Send that light from your heart to all the beings on this planet, to Mother Earth, especially to those who are suffering right now across the world, in Russia and Ukraine. May all their hearts be filled with love and light, compassion, especially the one in charge of this. May his heart open. May aggression, fear, and paranoia leave, and instead be filled with love, compassion, understanding, tolerance, mercy. We ask you to open your heart and share the love. And we thank all our guides, our ancestors, the universe, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. And I thank all of you for joining today in this collective loving meditation. Continue to send out love and light as often as possible towards yourself and others, so that may light prevail. With this knowledge that you are powerful, you are connected, healed, guided, and safe. No matter what happens, remembering this, bring it with you into your body and into your life. And slowly move your fingers and your toes, waking up your body slowly. Nice and easy. going back to the here and now. Back into the room. Slowly opening your eyes and moving about. And when you're ready, come back. And you can unmute yourself. And if you'd like to share your experience, please do so. Or at least how you're feeling right now compared to how you did before. You know, if you have any questions, Meredith. Hi.
That was so powerful. Thank you so much for that. I felt instantly warm. I was kind of chilly. It's a little cold here in Virginia today. And I felt this jolt to my side that, where I've been having, the stomach pain.
Okay.
It was amazing. It felt terrific. That was very powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sharing. Eleonora, you want to share something?
It was beautiful. The string that was attached kept me in line. I felt beautiful warmth around me.
Mm-hmm.
The name popped up, the color popped up. The almost like chill and like tingling right around my body.
Yes.
And just visions, like almost like a little episode of 1 second of this, 1 second of this, 1 second of that.
Yes.
It was really nice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Anna.
I didn't get a name, but I got a color. As soon as we started, my third eye activated. Remember how when we had our meditation, it was like a pulsating situation with like deep purple. And then as I pulled upon, this purple just expanded and like heat just wrapped my head. And I was so excited, like this feeling of like, it came over me and then filled me with like this. The color changed into more of like a neutral but light color, and then just warmth all over my body. And unfortunately, I got this interrupted by my kid.
That's okay.
But it was just like warmth everywhere. But that moment of like excitement, like
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Gabriella.
I also saw purple, which was weird.
It's not weird. That's what we're doing.
I did. I saw like very. It's like it was almost like a white purple.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like flashing.
Excellent.
But it was right. It was right at the end. It was like right at the end that I caught like mostly colors and lights, very bright light, like bright light, white, purple, white, purple.
Yes. Excellent. Those are also colors of the crown chakra. Yeah.
What did purple mean? I don't remember when we were talking about archangels.
Right. It depends on which color, but also because we're connecting through the crown chakra, there's also the colors of the crown chakra. Depends on the purple. It was violet, was it eggplant purple? It could be Zadkiel. Well, Zadkiel is more like bluish, but depends on the shade. So if you kind of think about the actual shade of the purple, is it deep purple? Is it bluish purple? Is it reddish purple? So
it was like bluish purple, but it was very bright. It was so bright. I remember that. Very bright.
Yeah. I mean, Metatron, violet, but Zadkiel most likely, right? Depending on who comes forward, it also based on what you are going through in your life, right? So it depends. If you're needing more comfort, if you're needing more understanding in yourself, and more support in your self-esteem, whatever you're dealing with personally, they're there, I mean, we did ask for the main guide to appear, but sometimes other guys are like, I see a window. I'm gonna take advantage of that because she needs me more than just a main guy coming through, which is fine. You know, it's not done out of malicious anyway. But yeah,
That was very, very relaxing though. I'm not even like, I'm
that's
not,
what it feels like
I,
usually.
yeah, it was very like, I should meditate more. That's what I think.
Good.
Definitely.
Good. I think
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. I think Elaine had her microphone unmuted for a minute there. I'm not sure if you want to say anything. No? Yes?
Yes, let me get back over here.
Uh-huh.
When we started out, I did, I seen the white ball of light, and then it faded into a dark green.
Okay.
So,
Are
and
you
then I got,
requiring, yeah, a little healing? Yeah.
yeah, and then I got extremely cold
Okay.
on my side,
Okay.
and then that's whenever the chaos started, and I had to stop my phone and lay it down. And I don't know if you saw it on your end,
No.
but you feeling.
I
I
mean,
don't know if
I kept
saw
my eyes
it,
closed.
but everybody, I don't know if anybody could see me, but you can see the ceiling. I had to stop meditating.
Okay.
So
The beauty of it is also we're going to have a recording of this. So if you decide you want to do this again, and if you need a guided meditation, you'll have an access to this video. And
it didn't last long. I came back and I was able to jump back in, but everything in my bathroom just fell completely off
okay.
the shelf. I was like, okay, something does not want me to do this.
Ooh. So you mean you have
Yeah,
disruptive beings? Yeah.
yeah,
Like, she's trying to move me along.
yeah. But
Okay.
it was a good experience.
Thank you.
It really was, and I appreciate that. It really was a good
Thank you. Thank you. For
a
sharing.
good thing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to share or have a question about anything else? I thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, Meredith, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I have a question. I like how you touched on ancestors too, because I do a lot of work with that.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted your take on it too, because I feel, my grandmother around me a lot, and I feel like she's always been, someone who has guided me, Grandmother Ada. So I was just wondering what your take on that is.
Okay. I have mixed feelings about using our because I speak to my grandmother too, because she's the lineage through which I primarily act through. There's the tricky part with it. If we are constantly keeping our loved one next to us by constantly engaging, they're not moving into the light. That's my take on it. And they're technically, from a guidance perspective, they're not guiding. They don't serve a purpose technically as our guides. The thing is, we are seeking some kind of, when you seek, probably you ask for specific guidance, right?
I remember when I started college and I didn't even really know her name, that kind of thing was kept from me.
Uh-huh.
And I was working in a gift shop, and this woman came in. This before I knew, I was really in touch with all this. And they said, by the way, your grandmother Ada says hi. Then I figured out my grandmother's saying hi. And sometimes she'll just pop in. I don't necessarily call on her, but I just feel her around. Never met her. She died before I was born.
I gotcha. Sometimes there is such a thing as also what is called attaching souls. And these attaching souls are not a good thing, even though most of the time they are loved ones. And it's not a good thing because they feed on our vital force energy, actually. And it's not a malevolent thing. It is sort of like you feeding your children, for example. It's sort of like an unspoken agreement. I will seek your guidance, but in return, I will give you some of my energy. So if you feel drained more than you should, or you wake up tired, or there's some kind of draining of vital force energy, because in order for them, because they're not humans anymore, they require vital force energy to exist on Earth. So they attach to someone they love who can provide that for them. And it is your agreement with her subconsciously. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but very often that's what does. And we think we have this amazing connection, and we do, but we allow it to happen. But unfortunately, it does leak some of that energy out of us because they need it to sustain themselves. You understand?
Mhm.
So
Sure.
it's all a matter of paying attention to how you feel after. You know, it's not a malevolent thing. It's a beautiful thing, but she is taking your energy if you're engaging with her constantly. Because she needs
Right. Yeah.
to sustain herself, literally. Like if I'm going to utilize you here on Earth, you're gonna have to attach to me so that we can interact. But that means she's not moving on to the light, and you're leaking energy at the same time. So it's kind of like, again, you can talk and interact, but maybe boundaries
Yeah. Absolutely.
and limited exposure, because they will take, again, not out of malicious, but because they need it, right? But yeah, I speak to my grandmother too. I'm like, oh, I know that was you.
Thank you.
know that was you because, well, I know what pertains to you. And there's also a difference between that light connection and there's constant presence. It's that constant presence that you want to limit.
Yeah, that's never good. When somebody's always around, there's a problem.
That is a problem. First of all, you're not drawing any boundaries. And that's important, right? So if grandma's always around, grandma needs to go.
Yeah, no one wants that. No one wants that.
Grandma, go. Go into the light. I'll talk to you later, grandma.
My mother was like that after she passed. I'm like, bye. It was just so present all the time. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah. Because we do ask our loved ones for guidance as well, because, well, that's natural, because we had love connection with them, right? We love them and we're going to ask them, but watch out for overuse.
People who hang out.
Yeah, because they will take your energy, vital force energy, and you don't want that. You don't want that, but they do require. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really, truly appreciate it. And any new announcement and any new events that we will hold, you will see them on our social media. Please subscribe, please follow us for any new announcements. And the announcement of a winner of the free psychic reading with Meredith will be announced shortly. Thank you so much all for joining. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Meredith, so much for. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Blessings. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.